I'm Jackie and welcome to my channel. I'm a mom and a preschool teacher, and I make videos that help parents and other child caregivers navigate difficult situations with their children. This video is about how to get your toddler's nails trimmed while they're awake. Sometimes trimming a toddler's nails can be a really scary experience for them, especially if you've ever accidentally slipped and cut their fingertip. Fingers and toes are really, really sensitive, and toddlers might not like the way that it feels. The sensation can just be really uncomfortable. If your child's feeling scared of getting their nails trimmed, they're going to be resistant to cooperating because they're just trying to keep their fingers safe. They don't want to get hurt. They don't like the way it feels, and they don't understand what you're doing. Fortunately, though, toddlers are really smart, and with a little patience and noticing, you can shift the dynamic and help keep your toddler feeling safe so that they're more willing to cooperate, and you'll be more successful when it comes time to trimming their nails. So before we talk about solutions, it's really important to understand how emotions work. It's important to know where the child's coming from so that you can bring them down when they start feeling scared. I like to think of emotions as a color spectrum: green, yellow, and red. So green is when you're feeling normal, happy, you're thinking, you're using the higher center of your brain, nothing's really bothering you, stress is pretty low. And then yellow is when you start thinking emotionally. So you're a little bit on edge, things are starting to bother you a little bit, you don't quite feel right. And then there's red. And red is when the survival part of your brain is activated and you can no longer think rationally, you're just trying to survive. So this is the point where toddlers get scared, and now they're in survival and they can't think rationally, and that's why they have a hard time cooperating when it's time to trim their nails, because they're scared and they're just trying to keep themselves safe. They don't feel safe in the moment, so they're gonna fight, they're gonna run, they're gonna hide their hands, they're going to do whatever they can to keep the nail scissors away from their fingers. If you force the situation and keep moving forward to a toddler who's telling you no, you're going to go from a situation where a toddler is shaking their head, saying no, and hiding their hands. And it could escalate to a situation where you're holding your toddler down while they're screaming and somebody else trims their nails. And that could just be really traumatic for the child. And future nail trimmings would just re-traumatize the child, and it just creates a whole mess, and it can just be avoided if you understand how to bring them down and how to help them feel safe while you're doing the nail trimming. So the big question is, how do you bring your child who is in yellow or in red, who is screaming and scared, how do you bring them back to green? Well, first of all, they need to breathe, and you need to breathe. You both need to get oxygen to your brain so that you can think. If your child's feeling scared, then you must be their rock so that they have somewhere safe to go. And just like a flight attendant tells you that you need to put your oxygen mask on first, you can't help a child calm down if you're not calm. So what you can do in the moment is just put the scissors away. If they start screaming or if they start crying, the priority is no longer trimming the nails. The priority has shifted to helping them feel safe again. So just kneel down to their level and just breathe. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to do anything. Just kneel down and they'll see that. And because humans are social creatures, you might have noticed that when I just took a deep breath, maybe you took a deep breath too. And that's what's going to happen with your toddler. When they see you breathing, they're just going to breathe too, and you don't need to say anything. Don't try to hold them. Don't tell them it's okay, because if they're at the point where they're screaming or they're at the point where they're crying, it's not okay. They wouldn't be crying if it was okay. So telling them that it's okay doesn't help. It doesn't help them come down. What will help them come down is just breathing and getting oxygen to their brain. And in order to help them come down, you've taken a couple deep breaths, you're feeling calm, you've provided a space for your child to be safe. Now, just notice them. You could say something like, I noticed that you're crying. You look like you're feeling really scared. You don't want your nails to get hurt by the nail scissors. I put the nail clippers away. See my hands? I don't have them anymore. I put them away. When you're ready, I'll show you how they work, but right now, let's just breathe together and have a little snuggle. The actual words that you say don't really matter. It's all about your intention. And sometimes, just by noticing and telling them that the feeling that they're feeling is fear, and that it's okay to feel the fear, and that they're justified in feeling fear, sometimes that helps them calm down. Because all they really need in that moment is to be understood and not judged. By explaining that they're safe with you and explaining that they are unconditionally loved, that will help them come down, and that will help them get back to green. And once they're back in green, they're able to learn, and then you can shift the dynamic from a I'm going to do this thing to you to let me teach you how to do a thing. So once you've recentered, let's just shift the focus a little bit. So instead of trying to get your kid to cooperate or trying to get your kid's nails trimmed, let's shift the focus to something like, how can I teach my child how to take care of their fingernails so that they can be healthy? So next time you try to trim their nails, make sure that they're in green first. And before you even get out the scissors, kneel down, look them in the eye. The words that you say really don't matter. It's the intention. So if the intention is, I want to teach you a skill, then the words you say could sound something like this. I love you, and I care about you, and I care about your body. I notice that your fingernails are getting long, and they feel a little bit sharp. See? You feel that feels a little bit sharp. And I'm worried that you could accidentally scratch your skin, or while we're playing together, you might scratch my skin on accident, and that could hurt. So to keep your nails short and your skin safe, I have these tools. This is called nail scissors. And I'm going to show you the way that it works on my fingers, and then we can work together and I can show you the way they work on your fingers. So watch. I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to put them just like this, and I'm going to just trim just like this. Do you see? See, look, and now feel. It's so soft. If you start to feel scared, then you can tell me that you're feeling scared, and I will put the scissors away, and you can give me a big hug and a big squeeze, and then we can try again later. Like I said, the actual words really don't matter. It's the intention. And if the intention is that you're coming from a place of love and a place of connection and a place of safety, then your child will be more willing to cooperate. You can't make a child do anything against their will. It's just not going to happen. You're going to get kicked in the face. So, all they need is a space so that they are more willing to choose pro-social behaviors like cooperating to get their nails trimmed. So after you've done all that and you've created a space, the tool that you use is important. And I found that the scissors like this that I showed you, these have worked really well for us. Here, I'll show you. I got these on Amazon. They were just a couple bucks. And I really like them because the tip is really short and you're less likely to snip their skin, and it just like slides right underneath, and then you can just trim. And I've used these on my daughter since she was a newborn, and she's almost 2 at this point, and these work really great. You can also use a nail file. I actually have my daughter hold this in one hand while I trim the nails in her other hand, and sometimes she'll like with one hand start like putting this on her toenails while I trim the nails on her hand. So she's involved with it and she is working with me. I don't like the way it sounds, so I don't actually use this, but it's a tool that she likes to hold, and she likes to pretend to file her nails. Honestly, whatever tools that you choose to use, it doesn't matter ultimately. What really matters is making the experience a teaching moment. So talk to them while you're trimming their nails. Go back and forth demonstrating on your fingers and then practicing on theirs. Before you start to cut, touch the tip of their fingernails, and that helps it be a little bit less sensitive so that they know what's going to happen to that specific finger. So saying, this is the finger I'm going to go to next. Watch. And then you do it. Okay? Now this finger is it I'm going to go to next, and then you do it. And it could take a couple times of doing this whole thing before you can sit down and trim all 10 nails all at once. Just engage them in the experience and work together, and you will be a lot more successful than just trying to trim their nails by force. Look, I have the nail scissors. Let's trim some of your nails because they're a little bit long. Hold your hand out like this. Yeah, just like that. You see? I'm just going to go trim. Just like that. See? That feels better. Hold this nail file. And you can file your nails. Yeah, you go back and forth. Yeah, just like that. Oh. Let's see. Do you have another sharp nail? Let's see. Oh, here's one. You see this one? I'm going to go... Oh, yeah, there you go. Go back and forth. Oh, you did Mama's? Gonna trim your nails just like that. You feel that? Okay. There's one here. Let's get that one. There we go. And get your nails nice and short so that they don't scratch us. There we go. Oh yes, you're helping. You're so helpful. Yeah. Yeah. Can you tell me more about that? Listen. Oh, you have the nail scissors. You put them back down on the desk. They're sharp and they could cut your finger. Stop. Ollie, these are sharp and I don't want them to cut you. You see this part? That part right there, it's sharp. So we're going to put them over here so I can keep your fingers safe. There you go. And look. Look. My nails look really good. How do your nails look? Do they look good? Oh, you need to do a little bit. You wish that you could use the nail scissors. You wanted to use them all by yourself. They're sharp and it could hurt you if you use those. Mommy has to use those instead. But you can use the nail file. Yeah, the nail file is really helpful to get your nails soft. Is it a little bit hard to use?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little hard to use. It's not really working too well, is it? Is it working? No. Are you feeling a little frustrated because it's not working the way you want it to?
Yeah, of course it was too.
Yeah, I know. It's a little tricky. It's a little tricky to learn how to use a nail file. But you got it. You're putting it on your nail. And when you go back and forth, it files your nail down. And that's how you take care of your nails so that they can be healthy.
No.
Are you all done with it? Do you like it?
No, go over there. Go to where I catch them.
Mm-hmm. What else happened? Eyes. Nose. Mouth. Nose. Mouth. Nose. Eye. Bop, bop, bop. No, not in your mouth. Not in your mouth. Okay, let's see. Do we need to do any more nails? Let's see this hand. Make sure that they're all soft. Are you all done? Okay, I love you. We'll get the rest later. Love you. So, thank you for watching. I hope that this video was helpful. I wish you peace, love, health, and joy.